I'm Daniel with Sport Aircraft Seats, and today we're going to talk about how to take this kit and this Carbon Cub seat frame and turning it into this.
For this project, you're going to need some 1300L glue or similar adhesive, a 2-inch disposable paintbrush, some masking tape, 2 and 1 inch, some sandpaper around 320 grit, razor blades. You'll use a lot of blades, so get a whole pack, a Sharpie, some leather cleaner, and super glue. And it really helps for cleanup if you have an eraser and some WD-40. All right, let's get started. Step 1 is to glue the Velcro to the seat frame. You'll find the Velcro stuck to the underside of your cushions. Do your best to place the Velcro pieces to where they correspond to the Velcro that is sewn onto the cushion. I like to mark their location with a Sharpie before I start painting glue. When using these types of contact adhesives, you want to paint both surfaces that you are sticking. When you are painting permeable materials, it's very important to paint 2 coats. Let the first coat soak into the material, dry, and then add a second coat. It is also very important to make sure the edge is stuck down good. I use the back side of a Sharpie to press the edges down, and I take special care to paint glue all the way to the edge of any surface I am sticking. The next step is to mask off the area where the cover will glue to the frame, and then scuff that area with some sandpaper. Once you're done masking, scuff up the area with some 320 grit sandpaper and then clean the dust off with a damp rag. Step 4, place the base cushion. Make sure that it is centered side to side, that it is snug against the front of the backrest, and that it is straight. Once you have positioned it, stick the Velcro by pressing down firmly on the top of the cushion. Finally, turn the cover inside out. Step 5, paint glue on the cover and frame. As you can see, we are painting the leather below the green foam backing, or above in this case since the cover is turned inside out. I like to paint about 1/2 inch down the foam backing as well. Paint the area on the back side of the frame where the cover will stick up to the edge of the masking tape. Also, paint about 1/4 inch from the edge around the outer side of the frame. And lastly, paint the rear corner of the frame on the outer side. This is the area where the base cover and the back cover overlap. So in this area, we glue the base cover to the outer side of the frame. It does not wrap around to the back side of the frame in this area. Once you've applied the first coat, let it dry for 10 minutes and then apply a second coat. I do a second coat on the frame as well. Once you've applied the second coat, wait 5 minutes. When the glue is tacky, you are ready for step 6, sticking the cover. There are 3 parts to this process. Number 1, turn the cover back to where the outside is out. Number 2, stretch and position the cover. And 3, stick it. Stretch and position. There is a stitch line about 2.5 inches from the edge of the leather. Stretch the cover to where this stitch line is just past the edge of the frame and hidden from view. Stretch and stick the back corners. At this stage, you can pull the cover off and reposition it as many times as you want until you get it positioned perfectly and all the wrinkles are worked out. Once it looks the way you want, you can move on to the next step. Stick it to the back side of the frame all the way down to the masking tape. If you're not careful on this step, you can end up with some wrinkles. There is some excess leather here, but if you work it out slowly and are careful not to let the excess leather gather in one spot, you should be able to prevent the formation of wrinkles. Once it's all stuck, take the Sharpie and press it down all the way to the masking tape. Step 7, gluing the backrest cover onto the frame. You will follow all the same steps as you did when gluing the base cover. When placing the cushion, make sure that the decorative stitching lines on the front of the backrest cushion line up with the ones on the seat base. Make sure the cover is straight and positioned correctly. Paint glue on all the surfaces, wait 10 minutes, and paint a second coat. Once the second coat is tacky, follow the same process. 1. Turn the cover back outside out. 2. Stretch and position it. And 3. Stick it. The bottom corners are probably the most difficult part of gluing the backrest cover. You will need to stretch them and kind of roll them over into place. Here are a few different shots of that process. Once the cover is positioned and stretched, go ahead and stick it. Work the excess wrinkles out and press it down with the back side of the Sharpie. Step 8. Cut off the excess leather. The cut line should be the same as the masking line. You are not cutting against the frame. You are kind of pulling the leather back and running the blade along as you stretch the leather. The secret to getting a clean looking edge is having a sharp blade. I get a new blade about every 6 to 8 inches. On a few spots you will find some stitch lines that you will have to cut through. I highly recommend putting a dab of super glue on these before you cut them. It keeps the stitches from eventually coming apart. Okay, so you're pretty much all done at this point, except for cleanup. So let's say you accidentally got some glue on the outside of the leather. There's actually an easy way to clean that up. What you'll do is wet a paper towel with a small amount of WD-40. Then use that paper towel to rub the glue off. Once you've removed the glue with the WD-40, use the leather cleaner to clean off the WD-40. And I want to be very clear that it is important not to use too much WD-40 or to spray the WD-40 directly on to the leather. Another trick is to use an eraser to work the glue off. I use this mainly when cleaning up the back side of the frame.
All right, so that's pretty simple, and that is how you do it. If you have any other questions, you can go to our website, sportaircraftseats.com.